I just want to make this video real quick about Sifu's Kung Fu Brawling is made by a studio full of white developers. It's from the Gamer. This is on, I got it on archive. I ain't giving those fuckers a click. By Kihu-chan. Feeling cautious about how Sifu will turn out eventually. Basically, the whole crux of the thing is that, oh, this game about basically Asian influences and stuff. Chinese. It's like a Chinese martial arts film, basically, but it's made entirely by a studio of white people. Here's the part where studio looks set to be in a game that's very much in the style of the fighting game Absolver. And they quote Bruce Lee at one point: "Water can flow, water can crash. Be water, my friend." The game looks really cool, basically. I mean, I don't know if you guys know much about it or whatever, but it looks really cool. And his thing is, but like Ghost of Tsushima before, a game that's set in pre-modern Japan, was made entirely by a team of white developers. Even its consultant, Ben Colosi, a martial artist they hired to choreograph the fistfights in Sifu, is a white martial artist who's well versed in Pac-Man. And the thing is, if your big example is Ghost of Tsushima, you've already lost, pal. You've already lost your argument. Because guess what? The Japanese people were so I don't want to say enamored, because I don't want to make it seem like they were just in love with the game, but they appreciated the effort that the developers went to, the lengths they went to make the game, that they made them kind of ambassadors and everything. It's ridiculous. It's like, dude, that's your big thing. That's your big gotcha. That it's made all by white people. Like this idiocy that if you're white, you can only make a game about white people, or a movie, or a TV show, or whatever. If you're black, it's because that's the problem. Is like, okay, so then you're saying that black people can only make games or whatever about black people, Asians about Asians, Latinos, Hispanics about Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, so on and so forth. Only gay people can make games about gay people and stuff, so on and so forth. It's like, because you know what's going to happen then is you're going to see less of these people. You're going to see less of these groups among games and TV shows and movies and stuff. Because guess what? There's a lot more white people in the United States than there is black. There's a lot more white people, in this country than there are Latino and Hispanic, or Asian, or Native American, and so on and so forth. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid. There's way more straight people in this country than there are gay. Excuse me. There's way more, what's the word, cis, or whatever, people than there are transgender. There's way more. I mean, just anything that you're talking about, all these marginalized groups and stuff, as they would call them. There's not all that many of them in most cases. So if you're saying that only a member of that specific group can make a game or a TV show or a movie or whatever about that, then you're not going to see shit, pal. I mean, seriously, like, what the hell? Yeah, it doesn't make any damn sense that they could be that stupid. I don't understand this guy's mentality is like, oh, he's nervous and stuff. But then he also goes on to explain their attention to detail is admirable in an industry that does only the bare minimum for diversity and representation, blah, 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 that kind of shit. The usual shit, Then he talks about, but it is still a pity that none of the studio leads, even the consultant they hired, are Chinese or Asian. It's like, this incongruence still says volumes about a predominantly white industry that is in love with non-white cultures, but is largely reluctant to challenge the structural racism endemic to the industry. And of course, that's, I mean, if you're not already checked out of this article by then, that does it right there. It's like, you fucking clown. You're a fucking idiot. A predominantly white industry that's in love with non-white cultures, as if that's supposed to be a bad thing. Then of course the structural racism. There is no structural racism. There is no systemic racism. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that stuff. Either that or give me examples. Like, my assertion is that all this stuff is bullshit. And I can point to reasons why it is bullshit. Because, for instance, nothing's stopping, Asian developers from making games. I mean, hell, they take a ton over in Japan and other places. South Korea and so on and so forth. But it's like, there's nothing stopping black people from getting into video games. There's nothing stopping women from getting into video games and all this kind of shit. It's the usual stuff. I don't want to spend too much time going about it because I'm sure you guys have heard it a million times. But then it's also stupid is he said, that said, I'm still looking forward to the release of Sifu. It's like, okay, so what the hell are you complaining about? What are you bitching about? It's like, shut the fuck up. How about that? I mean, Jesus. Anyway, I go ahead and wrap this up here. I didn't want to go on a huge rant. I've already, this is over 5 minutes. It's a lot longer than I was wanting to. But it's just ridiculous. It's like, this is why I don't like the gamer. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because I've actually, from what I know about the Sifu game, it looks really cool. I'm excited for it myself, personally. I think it looks like a badass game. And to hear this fucking clown going on bashing it and stuff, oh no, too many white people helping to make it. It's like, you know, it's just stupid. I don't want to get into it again, get into another rant. I'll just wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.